My role as Director of Apprenticeships is to set the policy and manage the operation of the apprenticeship programme for apprentices in England. The report that was overseen by Lord Leach that concluded that the country needs to raise its game in terms of training its people in the skills that employers need so that we can compete with the emerging economies and the economies that are already in competition with us. And what that said is that we've got to look above the skills levels that we've got. So there's been a big focus on skills at level 2. We need to move up to level 3 and level 4. And one of the good ways of doing that is through apprenticeships. And so the report recommended that we increase the number of apprenticeships from the current 250,000 in learning up to 500,000 by 2020. Apprenticeships have been going in this country since about 1280, the first references to apprenticeships. And they have changed. They rightly changed because apprenticeships are about building the skills, passing the skills on from one generation to the next, and also increasing the skills. And they have changed. I was an apprentice when I left school. I did an apprenticeship with Rolls-Royce. That at that time, an engineering apprenticeship was a fixed term. It was 5 years time served and you couldn't finish before then. And it was one of a range of apprenticeships, relatively limited in number and focused in engineering and construction. So the recipe or the menu for apprenticeships was much narrower. Nowadays we don't have time serving. It's about achieving competence. So when you're competent to do the job, then you can be assessed as being competent, you can move on. And there are a wide range of apprenticeship options now to reflect the emerging sectors. So there are apprenticeships in IT, media studies even, accountancy, all things that there didn't used to be apprenticeships in. I'd summarise them as being 3 main benefits to employers. First is about recruiting people. If you offer apprenticeships in your business, you will have the opportunity of recruiting better people. Young people want an apprenticeship, we know that. We're always oversubscribed with good young people who want an apprenticeship. So you've got a better choice of candidates. It's also actually quite economical to recruit through apprenticeships because of the fact that there is this demand from young people. The next thing is about the productivity of the people. You've got the ability to train these young people in your business practices to do exactly what your business wants. The whole basis of an apprenticeship is that it's designed around employers' needs. Frameworks are designed by the Sector Skills Council that works with employers. So the training is highly relevant to your particular business. So apprentices are more productive. And we have research that shows in major companies, large, medium and small, that actually apprentices are more productive and contribute more to the business than other employees. And the third benefit is that apprentices actually stay with the business longer than other employees. Certainly the Learning and Skills Council recognises this and is working very hard to increase the skills of the workforce. And I think a lot of employers recognise this. I think they don't always know how to resolve that issue. They don't always know how to get the skills that they need. And that's why the apprenticeship programme is so important to them. And it's really important that we get that message across to people. That's one of the reasons that we have the Apprentice of the Year awards, because that gives us the opportunity to show to others who are not yet involved in the apprenticeship programme what this can do for young people, but also what this can do for employers. Because you only have to attend the awards or look at the case studies, and you see that offering apprenticeships is not about doing something good for society, although it does that as well, but it's actually about improving the bottom line performance of your business. And all employers need to take that on board. I think lots of people recognise it, but we need to make sure that every employer in this country recognises it. One of the other good things about apprenticeships is that the training costs are, the cost of training apprentices is reimbursed by the Learning and Skills Council through a contract either with an employer or with a training provider. For apprenticeships, we think that there should be a 3-way contribution to the cost of working and learning. And so we expect that we'll make a contribution, that the employer should make a contribution in terms of delivering the training and paying the wages of the individual, and of course the individual is making a contribution through their time and effort. So the apprenticeship programme is funded by the Learning and Skills Council to the tune of something like £1 billion a year for the 250,000 apprentices that are in learning. So that's a significant contribution. We need more employers to take that up. There's a lot of apprentices are people who've just left school and go into an apprenticeship. But of course, apprenticeship is about gaining skills in employment, and there is no age limit to that. Many people do indeed start when they're young, but others, perhaps who've been in one employment sector where numbers employed there have dropped off, or because they've made a conscious choice to change, more and more need to retrain into a different employment sector. And so you can do an apprenticeship at whatever age you are. There is no limit to the age that you can complete an apprenticeship. And this year we're extending the funding for apprentices to those over the age of 25. So we have a significant programme of apprenticeships for adults. So it doesn't matter whether you are out of work looking to get employment through an apprenticeship, whether you're already working in a company and you want the qualifications that an apprenticeship brings, or whether you're a young person and an apprenticeship is suitable for you if you want to gain competence and prove that through the qualifications that an apprenticeship gives you. Lots of small companies take on apprentices as a fundamental part of their business. Some of the successful employers that have entered the Apprentice of the Year Awards have been in the micro category. If we look at DG Shuttleworth and their business, they say how essential it is in order to make sure that their customer satisfaction is good, that they can offer the skills that people need. My message is to those people who aren't offering apprenticeships yet is why not? What's holding you back? The apprenticeship programme gives you a better chance of recruiting good candidates. It gives you the opportunity to train them in the way of your practices in your particular business to the skills that you need. It gives you employees who are more productive than others taken on through different routes. All of this funded by the Learning and Skills Council, and once you've trained them, they stay with you longer. So really my message is to all employers, because there are apprenticeships across over 200 different types of apprenticeship framework. Yes, engineering and construction, but we also have accountancy, we even have apprentices in sports these days, leather goods, you name it, there are apprenticeships there. So take a look at the apprenticeship programme and see how it can improve your business prospects.